Thanks again for the Ardelex community to recommending another great stock. And the name of that stock is TG Therapeutics, which is currently sat at $23.97. So today I'm going to be looking at the financials, and after that I'm going to be taking a look at the bull points, the bear points, and then finally taking a look at the stock price and giving my predictions about where I think that might be heading. So first of all, if we look at the stock price over the last year, we can see that it's had a really good run here from about $7 up to the $24 it is now. So if we take a look into the financial reports to see what's been happening, we can see here that there's been a significant increase in the revenue, which would explain why the stock price has increased so much. And then if we take a look at the balance sheet, we can see that they currently have $400 million in assets and just over $200 million in liabilities. So that's a good debt to asset ratio that they also have. It also means that they have a lot of cash on hand should they need it. So taking a look at the bull and the bear points of this company, you can see that there's actually a lot more bull points than the bear points. But that's because a lot of the bear points are actually relating to some of the bull points. So we'll go into those in a bit more detail. So as always, these lists are ordered with what I thought was most significant at the top. So first we'll start off with the Briumvi potential. So currently Briumvi is getting around 15% of new patients, and this could be worth in excess of $5 billion. They are also taking steps to increase this percentage and also to migrate existing patients away from competitors' products. Of course, even achieving a $5 billion revenue would make this $3.5 billion company look very good value indeed. So one of the ball points to this is that they have a subcutaneous trial which could help to boost the potential of this product. This would mean that patients don't have to go into hospital to receive their treatment, which would seem attractive to the hospitals as well as the patients. The bear point to this potential though is that they're in a very competitive market. They have over 6 competitors here, all with over $1 billion revenue. They do however have some really good USPs. The first is that they've shown to have fewer relapses and lesions. And the other is that they can provide this with really easy dosing. They only need 2 injections per year, and each of these injections only takes 1 hour. As far as I know, this is the easiest dosing of all of the drugs. Okay, so going back to the main list, the next in the list is the Briumvi growth. And what was really good about the last earnings report is that they were able to achieve a 45% growth on the previous quarter. Not only that, but they raised their guidance to 290 to 300 million for the year. If they were just able to maintain this growth, then they would see revenue in excess of 700 million next year. On top of that, the enhanced trial could help to accelerate growth by taking some of the patients away from competing products. There is a bear point to this growth though, and that is that Ocrevus, the leading competitor, has just released a subcutaneous version of their product. This could reduce the growth of Briumvi until Briumvi release their own subcutaneous product. The management do say that they are not worried about their competitor's product, but I think we'll have to wait to see for ourselves. Going to the next in the list, we have the new CAR-T pipeline. So CAR-T products can be very profitable. They normally provide a one-time solution or a solution that will last a long time, and for this the cost of the treatment is much higher. This can provide billions of dollars of revenue for the companies that hold these products. However, the bear points for this is that it's still very early days. They haven't even started their phase 1 trial for this. And also on top of that, CAR-T clinical trials are also very expensive, so the net income might take a hit in the meantime. So next on the list, we have the fact that the company has just turned profitable. And not only that, but excluding any one-off expenses, they said that they expect to stay profitable from this point on. The final bull point that they have is that they've also initiated stock buybacks. So they said that they are going to use a 250 million credit facility, and they're going to use $100 million of that for buybacks. Obviously, this will be good news for shareholders as their shares will now be worth more. Buybacks can be a double-edged sword, however, and a company should only really buy back shares when they think that the stock price is low. And even though the stock price has increased significantly over the last year, it does look like there's a lot more potential to go. For me, this buyback smells like confidence from the management team of what's to come. And on top of that, the company has a really good low asset to debt ratio, which will support this, as well as the previously mentioned fact that they are now profitable. So going back to the list, We come to the one lone bear point that I have about the company, and that is that it could arguably be at a high valuation at this point in time. And this really goes back to the fact that the stock price has 3x'd in the last year, which is a significant amount for any company. It does seem, however, that the management has proved that there's a lot of potential for this company. But at the same time, a lot of that potential is baked into the current stock price. However, if they do manage to achieve that 15% market share of new customers going forward, and they do manage to get that $5 billion in revenue, then the current valuation could actually be a bargain. So next, let's take a look at the upcoming catalysts. So first in the list, we have the Q3 ER coming up, and that's estimated around the 30th October. We'll know exactly closer to the time. We can see here that the tilde means it's an approximation. So for me, the Q3 ER is a bit of a worry because they did have some Q3 seasonality last year. And this softness in the revenue caused a drop in the stock price. They have warned that the same could happen this year, and hopefully accelerated growth will lessen this impact. The next catalyst would be start of the phase 1 for the CAR-T therapy. They've estimated that this would be towards the end of the year, and I'm not actually expecting this to move the needle much. The next catalyst after that is the phase 1 results for the subcutaneous Briumvi. This could move the needle a little bit more because we might get some more colour on the delivery method. Here I'm really hoping they show that they have a better delivery method than the Ocrevus product. Finally, about halfway through 2025, they should be announcing the phase 3 subcutaneous Briumvi trial. If they can keep this timeline as expected, then this could be a good boost for the company. Of course, within this time, we would have had many more ERs, and hopefully they would have been able to maintain the growth that they have shown so far. Okay, so let's take a look at the stock price, and I'll talk about what I think might happen. So the big thing, as I've mentioned before with this stock, is that it's already 3x within 1 year, and that's a significant amount for any company. It does look though that the path ahead for this company is clear, and they have a significant chance of reaching that $5 million revenue or more. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see the stock price dip until next earnings. And then next earnings does as well hold that risk that seasonality could come into play. So for me, this stock does seem like a good long-term choice with a multi-bag potential. But I do think if you want to invest in this stock, you should be prepared for some shaky stock action within the next 5 months. But apart from that, I think this is another really good stock that the Ardelex community has recommended to me. Congratulations to all the long-term stockholders, and if you have any comments for me, please leave them below.